Alright, what is up? KC here, and a ton of Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires information has dropped, and today we're going to be reacting through all of that. A bunch of new information from the weekly Famitsu gaming magazine. If you don't know what Famitsu is, it's a weekly Japanese gaming magazine that talks about Japanese games. And Dynasty Warriors 9 is one of those that is featured. And as you can see here, there's a bunch of screen caps of the magazine, which you cannot read at all because these are preview images. Because you actually have to pay a subscription fee to read the weekly Famitsu. So these are just preview images that are, they're not legible. Is that the right word? Legible. What the? So these are not legible, and you can't really tell that much from these very pixelated pictures. Bummer, but we're not subscribed to the weekly Famitsu magazine. But luckily, we have a guy named Ryo, and on his blog, he wrote down all of the key features / information that was dumped from the weekly Famitsu magazine into his own blog. And obviously it's in Japanese because he is Japanese. But that's where BlackKite, the translator, the godfather of all Muso news, right? In English, I guess. He translated all of this, even more, so much information. It's truly the power of the Muso / Warriors community, and it's very awesome. So make sure you follow BlackKite and you visit Ryo's blog, which I'll put in the description below. So like I said, this is going to be a reaction video. Later down the line, I will probably make an overview / summary video so that it's more accessible and structured for, a wider audience. So if you want to sit through and react to the Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires news with me, then this is the video for you. So let's start off with the Silicon Era article, which is a overview of everything that is said right here. And let's just get right into it. So, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires will still have an explorable open field by Kite Stenbeck. The latest issue of Famitsu features new coverage on Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, including an interview with Akihiro Suzuki from Koei Tecmo's Omega Force. He confirmed that Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires will still have an explorable open field, to some extent. Interesting. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires will have its combat gameplay confined to castle sieges. A siege will consist of 2 phases, starting with opening the castle gates and culminating in a decisive battle against the enemy commander. It just basically is what I expected, because it reminds me of the, 1.10 update of Dynasty Warriors 9 where they added castle siege battles into the mix. It doesn't seem like they changed much of the flow of that, so. Also, each officer will have 1 of 3 unit types. This is very interesting. So, infantry, cavalry, and bowmen, you can select. The battles will feature a triangle system. They love playing with this triangle system. A triangle system where a unit type is strong against another but weak against the third. Although the player cannot specify an ally officer's route, you can still give orders to attack a certain enemy officer. What does that mean? You can't tell them like step by step what direction to take. But you can just say, attack this officer, and then they'll find a route to that officer. The stratagems from Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires will also return in another form. Stratagems are back, so that's in addition to the combat system, which is something that we are all looking forward to, is like how are they going to make the Dynasty Warriors 9 combat system feel better or improve upon that. So stratagems is a plus because, you can add a lot more depth into the gameplay. Alright, let's go on. Suzuki also revealed that his team will add an explorable open field of mainland China into the domestics phase. If you guys don't know what the domestics phase is, it's when you're looking at the entire map of China. It's the strategy phase in the Empires games. Apparently there's going to be an open field option inside of the strategy phase that allows you to go into the open field, and you can, build relationships. Other than building relationships with other characters, the player can use this feature to ask for the whereabouts of a character and visit them to recruit into the player's function. Interesting. So inside of this open field option, you're going to be able to recruit officers, or find and recruit officers. Not just recruit, but you find and recruit officers, which is a good tie-in. That's probably like a really good use of the open world. That might take a long time, and it might it might become a little bit of like a grind, I guess. Or like it just like why does it take so long to recruit an officer? I hope there's like a secondary option where you can just go off a list and just recruit. But that's a good use of the open world. It makes it a lot more immersive, in my opinion. Let's look further into it. Suzuki has also previously confirmed the return of photo mode. Yes, he did, which allows players to take a detailed screenshot at any time. So this is a fully translated quote from the producer Akihiro Suzuki. Said, "We originally planned to not include open world, but there are many opinions requesting open world features, so we put it in as a sub feature. The tempo on doing things like finding officers would get worse, so we refrain from emphasizing this feature as much as possible." Okay, so they even talked about that, like how it would take a lot of time to just go and find and recruit an officer. They talked about the tempo, which is very important in Dynasty Warriors. I cannot stress that. The gameplay structure and flow of Dynasty Warriors 9 was not very good. The breaks in between battles and the cutscenes and how long the cutscenes took and how like disengaging the cutscenes were, that was probably one of the biggest flaws of Dynasty Warriors 9. So I love that they're always talking about the tempo in this game's articles, interviews, and all that stuff. The tempo is very important in Dynasty Warriors games, especially modern Dynasty Warriors games, because they're all fast-paced, high action. So you did say we refrain from emphasizing this feature as much as possible, which could possibly mean that there is another way to recruit officers, or just an easier way, right? Let's continue with the article. While Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8 Empires each added a new unique officer, Suzuki confirmed that Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires will not. There is no Jugaka, there is no Sun Liban, there is no there is no new Wu strategist. You know, it kind of sucks. But honestly, he has a very good reason for this. There's a very good reason for not adding a new character. As with prior Empires games, you will be able to control around 700 generic officers. Yes, that is a standard. The game will also let you add custom characters with a system inspired by Neo 2. Very promising. I've seen the trailer, it looks fucking awesome. However, Suzuki noted that this team might consider adding more unique characters when the time has come to work on the next numbered sequel after Dynasty Warriors 9. Interesting. Okay, so basically we're gonna, like, you already know this, but Dynasty Warriors 10 is most likely in development and they're like considering adding a new character. We have added too many unique officers. Strained laugh. Yes, we have 94. We have decided on a direction to bring more depth to each officer. Of course, when we make the next number title, we may add more of them. Okay, so what he said right here, we have decided on a direction to bring more depth to each officer. More depth to each officer. That is magic to my ears. Because you think about this. When was the last time you've seen Shu Huang, you know, the big axe dude with the white robes, get any spotlight? I don't remember the last time Shu Huang got any spotlight. The last Dynasty Warriors where I believed characters actually got the right amount of screen time was Dynasty Warriors 7. In that game, Shu Zhu was actually a likable character. Dian Wei was an awesome character. Like, those characters are awesome, but then they tend to get like pushed to the side for the newer characters, especially in like Dynasty Warriors 8 and Dynasty Warriors 9. In Dynasty Warriors 9, even though everyone got their own story mode, you could not even tell that it was their story. The most that they got was just like a couple lines of dialogue and an end cutscene. That was unique to them. Other than that, they would just stand like on the sidelines listening to a conversation where the actual main characters of that scenario talked. They didn't have an opinion in that cutscene. Like, what was the point of them even being in that cutscene? Let's continue. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires will release on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and PC in 2021. Koei Tecmo will provide more information on the custom character creation at a later time. So it appears that the next huge Dynasty Warriors 9 info drop is going to be about the character creation, which I don't mind because that's one of the things that I'm most excited for. So now we're going to be looking at each individual like translated subtext or text that BlackKite pulled from the real article and Famitsu magazine, and which actually goes more into depth with the information. So that was just an overview. If you guys actually want to continue reacting to the Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires news with me, I'm happy that you're taking time out of your day. So let's not waste any more time and let's keep going. Okay, actually this is all stuff that's basically in the Siliconera article, so I'm going to skip through that. Alright, BlackKite here talks about the Famitsu magazine has more screenshots on Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, showing the battle maps that will be squared off. Generally, the maps will still feature multiple bases outside the castle, and the castle itself only has 2 to 3 sides. Capturing some outside bases will let your forces launch siege weapons. Okay, so that's some more depth into the siege battles itself. So capturing some bases outside of the castle will allow your forces to build a siege weapon to scale the walls or break the gates. And of course he's referring to these images right here, which are very not, you know, you can't really see much. I wish there was HD pictures right now, but then we would have to wait until they're on the website. But for now, they're only on the weekly Famitsu magazine. It's probably like an exclusivity deal that they have. But you can kind of just tell from these screenshots that there's a lot going on. And he talks more about them right here. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empire unit types. So there's going to be 3 unit types apparently. Infantry, cavalry, and bowmen. They're going to work in a triangle. So infantry is strong against cavalry, cavalry is strong against bowmen, and bowmen is strong against infantry. But infantry is also strong against siege weapons. So they do more damage against siege weapons. Cavalry can deal more damage to bases. Oh, and bowmen can launch salvo attacks. I'm assuming salvo attacks are the whistling arrow attack in Dynasty Warriors 9 siege battles. DW9E stratagems have various effects from buffing siege weapons, instantly capturing bases, magic stuff, and most screenshots show the latter. Wang Yuanji freezes the enemy with ice. Xiao Chao juggles the enemy with wind. Sun Jian summons a Flame Tiger. Zhang Jiao drops Thunder. So let's see if we can see that actually happening in the picture. So Zhang Jiao, yeah, he's summoning Thunder right there. But yeah, so that's basically all of the information that's dropped and translated in Ryo's blog, at least, because we have absolutely no idea what else is being said. Ryo translated all the key features or key parts of this Famitsu preview magazine thing. So shout out to Ryo. I'm gonna put his link in the description. Shout out to BlackKite. Of course, if you're not following BlackKite yet, make sure to follow BlackKite, especially if you want to know about Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires news as soon as possible when it drops, because obviously I look at this guy first before making my reaction / video, whatever. Yeah. That's basically it. Thank you for sitting down and reacting to Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires news with me. If you guys liked the video, and leave a comment on what you guys think about everything that was added, all the Famitsu stuff. And yeah, make sure to subscribe for more Dynasty Warriors videos and content. So, I'll see you guys later.